The state of Illinois answering to the challenge against Illinois' gun ban in federal courts. You've got 4 consolidated cases, and the state of Illinois replying to the charges that the gun ban violates the Second Amendment in all of those cases. Good morning. I'm Greg Bishop. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY, now 6:11, and you can always chime in live and local at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number to interact live on air. And if you're watching afterwards, you can always reach out to me, Bishop on Air, at gmail.com, or you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. It's Friday. A ton going on. We got plenty to tackle, including just an overview of some of these replies that the state gave, answers of sorts. And if you guys follow federal court cases at all, which this is all, kind of new to me as well, at least searching through a program called Pacer. You have to pay for it after a certain number of pages you download. But you can see here that in the case that was consolidated, this is the Barnett v. Raoul. It's in the Southern District. It was consolidated with the Illinois State Rifle Association's case. It was consolidated with the Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois case. It was consolidated with the Crawford County case. And this is the case that ultimately is going to be heard in the Southern District April 12th. And you've got these 4 cases being consolidated, and yesterday was the deadline for the state to file answers. So you can see here, if you're following along online, you've got answers to the Barnett case, answers to the Harrell case, which is the State Rifle Association case. You've got answers to the Federal Licensees of Illinois, then also the Langley case, which again is the case that was brought in Crawford County. So looking at these, each individual one, one's 27 pages, another's 29 pages, another's 43 pages, 19 pages on another, and then 27 pages. All of these answers being filed, and the judge, who said previously he didn't want to be papered to death, is going to have to pour through all of this and then prepare for oral arguments April 12th, all on the idea of a preliminary injunction. And that is something that could halt the law from being enforced pending any appeal that could go all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. Because this is federal court. We're not talking about the state challenge. The state challenge seems to be, of course, up now into the Illinois Supreme Court, and you've got a mid-May oral argument that's going to be had there. The state challenge really is focusing on the issue of equal protections and the law crafted to carve out retired and current law enforcement, members of security companies, other types of corrections staff, wardens, active duty military, and so on. They don't have to comply with the law that Governor Pritzker signed January 10th. And the argument is in state courts that violates equal protections because everybody has fundamental rights, and you can't, and this is the argument, people have fundamental rights, and you can't carve out these rights for some people and not others. So that's the argument in state courts, and that's the equal protections argument that the Illinois Supreme Court's going to hear. Of course, we've talked a lot about the questions of judicial ethics and judicial integrity when it comes to the Illinois Supreme Court and the $2 million that Governor J.B. Pritzker gave to Supreme Court's then justices now on the bench. But the federal court is where we're focusing now. And again, looking at the process here of these 4 cases that are going to be heard in the Southern District in April, let's go ahead and just look at one of these in particular. All right, so the defendants answer, and they have to answer to the question of how does this not violate the Second Amendment? And when you're reading through these, you can really kind of delve deep into it, or you can look at some of the highlights, including the pull quotes and the bolded areas. So, for instance, one answer they have is defendants admits this paragraph contains partial quotes from Bruin, and the Second Amendment's defendants deny that these excerpts are and allegations accurately characterize which weapons are protected by the text and history of the Second Amendment. So they've got all of these answers they lay out. And listen, it's going to take some time to really delve into this and to unpack what all they have to say in the allegations. and all of the defendants answering questions that the plaintiffs brought. The plaintiffs say that the defendants admit the allegations in this paragraph. This court also has jurisdiction because this action seeks to redress the deprivation under color of state law, rights, privileges, or immunities secured by an act of Congress providing the equal rights of citizens of all persons within the jurisdiction of the United States. And then you can go on and see all of these different answers. The Harrell case, you've got answers there as well. So the state went through and answered each of the charges that were brought in the original filings by the plaintiffs in these cases. 4 cases. You've got 100-plus pages that we're going to have to pour through, this coming in yesterday late in the Southern District of Illinois, all in anticipation of the April 12th hearing in the Southern District. And again, that hearing is on a preliminary injunction, which could halt the law pending an appeal all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. So I'll have to really delve deep into this, get some more analysis on all of these answers, because again, it's dozens and dozens and dozens of pages, deep legalese, a lot of different answers to all the allegations, and I'll have to probably talk with Todd Vandermeide to really with Freedom's Steel to get to the bottom of this. So maybe we do that on Monday. But that's the latest in the Southern District. Answers filed, and the states providing responses to the allegations, a variety of different allegations, not just the Second Amendment violation allegations, but everything else from separation from equal protections to, these guns are banned, those guns aren't, and these people can have them and others can't. So a lot to pour through there, and we'll definitely be keeping you updated on all of that. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. A few other tidbits to get to, including the Attorney General putting out a note that he's not happy with credit card companies walking back the idea of special codes for gun purchases. We got iGold, Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day, coming up March 29th. And also Illinois State Police putting a frequently asked question on their website about enforcement of the gun ban. So stay tuned. We'll get to all of that next year. All right, back at it, and just pouring through the dozens and dozens of pages that there are of the complaints and the response that the state has had of the challenge against the gun ban. And one in particular here, just looking at, you've got the state having to answer to the plaintiffs, alleging that there's some factual inaccuracies or challenges of assumptions. And it includes, listing all of the different weapons that there are, and having them answer to that, which weapons are ultimately banned by this. But then you go in a little bit further, and it talks about at least one of these, because there's like 5, 6, 7 different filings that were made last night, and dozens and dozens and dozens of pages. So you've got state defendants admits the rifles built on AR-style platforms are regulated by a code. State defendants also admit the AR, in short, is Armalite rifle, and that Armalite originally designed the platform. State defendants deny the remaining allegations in a paragraph. Then you got the response there, AR-15s. The state defendants do admit these allegations and the charges brought by the plaintiffs. And again, there's so much here. There's so much here. We've got to really spend some time unpacking it all. So we'll get to that. But I do want to raise just a couple of other issues here. In particular, when you've got Illinois State Police with their frequently asked questions, does the Macon County case that was going all the way up to the Supreme Court in Illinois, does the Macon County case completely strike down the Protect Illinois Communities Act and render it unenforceable across Illinois? The current Macon County judgment and any temporary restraining orders entered in other actions are only applicable to the specific plaintiffs and defendants in those actions, they say, according to the frequently asked questions at the Illinois State Police website. More information will be forthcoming as additional rulings transpire through the state and federal courts and when the Illinois Supreme Court rules on the matter. So that's the response that they have. The Macon County judgments and any TROs entered in the actions are only applicable to specific plaintiffs and defendants in those actions. You gotta ask, is that specifically about the final judgment in Macon County? Of course, I know that there's a difference of opinion. Dan Calkins' attorney, who brought the Macon County challenge, says that this is deemed unconstitutional, and how can you enforce an unconstitutional law? And even going as far as to saying anybody who is enforcing a law that's been adjudicated unconstitutional is threatening their liability for enforcing an unconstitutional law. Then on the other side, and the likes of Tom DeVore and other attorneys saying that no, that's not the case. This isn't statewide, and even the Illinois State Police saying it's not statewide. I have yet to get, and I've put a FOIA in, I have yet to get the guidance that the Illinois Attorney General has provided Illinois State Police when it comes to enforcing this gun ban. So I have that FOIA in. It's been about 5 business days. I should get something back today to give more clarity on what the AG is telling the Illinois State Police. But according to the Illinois State Police frequently asked questions on their website, they say that the Macon County judgments and any TROs entered into the case only for specific plaintiffs and defendants. So fascinating to see that. All right, stay tuned. We got a lot more to get to, including just this one little tidbit here. The Attorney General says that he's condemning the 4 largest credit card companies, Visa, American Express, MasterCard, and Discover, for, quote, walking back their commitment to implement a new merchant code for gun sales that would help prevent mass shootings and curb gun violence. So this is after Visa, American Express, MasterCard, they all announced that they were going to create a merchant code so that when somebody buys a gun, they can track that. But they apparently have reversed that decision and said they're not going to do that. And why they're not going to do that is because apparently there are states across the country that are seeking to make such a move by credit card companies illegal, to prohibit that. So the Illinois Attorney General says that the companies are capitulating to political pressure cloaked in specious legal arguments. That's the Attorney General's statement on these credit card companies reversing their decisions to start tracking credit card gun sales. So kind of fascinating to see that. One other thing I just wanted to get in front of you guys after... Again, geez, it's going to be a long weekend of reading just gobs and gobs and gobs of different types of answers to the allegations that the plaintiffs brought against the gun ban in federal court. That's going to be fun weekend reading. But you've also got plans if you are looking at heading down to Springfield, iGold, Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. That is March 29th. And just the Illinois State Rifle Association putting out this message saying that for the upcoming iGold, remember, we'll be back at the Capitol building this year. The great pandemic is over, they say. This means if you carry a pocket knife or anything like that, remember to leave it in your vehicle or on the bus. And then they'll be delivering position cards to various representatives and senators at the State House. iGold, we'll talk a lot more about that in the weeks ahead. But March 29th is the Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day. And I know that previous Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Days have been just thousands and thousands and thousands of people showing up on the streets of Springfield, heading to the Capitol to lobby their lawmakers. All right, that's a little bit of a hodgepodge of an update. Tons to pour through with the federal filings, all of the answers and the responses and so on. Then you've got even the latest twists and turns about the state level challenges. So we'll be watching all of that closely for you as we progress throughout. All right, it is Springfield. Grab a green beer and throw paperwork on a pile. By Monday, there will be 700 pages. Oh, no. No, that's not good. Please don't say that. All right, gotta take a break, come back and delve into another topic that's pretty scandalous, and that is the ComEd 4. Mike Madigan's voice heard in court yesterday. We'll get to that.